Welcome back to Inside Southeastern Baseball with head coach Matt Reiser, presented by your local Southern Quality Ford dealers, Champagne Beverage, and also Buddy's Bar and Grill right here in Hammond. It's hard to believe, but Southland Conference play got underway this past weekend, and your Lions took on Lamar on Friday night. Here's the action. On Friday nights, the conference opener against Lamar. This has been a good rivalry between your two clubs over the last few seasons with Coach Gilligan and the Lions and Lamar.
Yeah, the last 5 or 6 years it really has. It's gotten kind of intense and had some heated moments.
I want to watch this cannon right there. That was an absolute cannon.
Sign him up. A laser at 95 right down the middle. I was impressed with the strike throw there for sure. Back to Friday night with Andre Tutor on the mound. I tell you, man, something special with him. He gave us a good chance to win again on Friday night.
Man, he's been great every outing this season. Lamar has a good hitting ball club, but he did a nice job on Friday night.
They did. I tell you, they do. They have a nice club. Offensively, they swung the bat well. They didn't miss a whole lot of fastballs. And so Andre went back door there with the breaking ball. Try to get a little something started here. We tried to hit and run after HBP, and we steal second base. So we got a guy at second there, trying to get him in. You know, we've been working on the 2-out RBIs, but we take strike 3 there. Guy makes a nice pitch there, back a front door breaker to get out of that situation. And then their 4-hole found a way to make us pay for mistake. He absolutely annihilates a hanging breaking ball there. I had a nice little talk with Gobbo, but that's what I want a 4-hole to do with it. But also you see Andro settle right back in, gets the strikeout down low there, and keeps in the ball game. You know, Friday night I was a little disappointed the way we played for 8 innings of baseball, to be honest with you. We swung a lot of balls and took a lot of strikes, made it kind of tough on us to score some things offensively, but defensively we kept us in the ball game, and Andrew also kept us in the ball game to where we get some offense going late.
Well, I think one thing about this game was they had a chance to maybe stretch it out early on and didn't do so, hung in there, and we're going to see later in the highlights your club's able to come back and force this thing to extra innings, but a really good job of playing damage control early on especially.
Yeah, they really did, and you know, also here we go again. We get the leadoff guy on. Fisher does a good job of dominating the zone, and you know, that's kind of our offense. We get that guy on, and we can kind of go to work. You know, Andrew strokes one there to center field, and now we got first and second there. Keep the inning alive. And then Gabe Woods just happened to roll over one there with second and third. Had a chance to knock some guys in. You know, it's coming kind of the story the last couple of weeks. Setall draws the walk. Leadoff walk, and then we get the hit and run going, and Fisher does a good job of driving the ball to right field there. We go first to third like we're supposed to, and actually get a run out the inning and get down 3-1. We bring in Matt Pateri, who did a good job. There's a nice play by Gabe Woods in left field. Hadn't been out there a whole lot this year, but does a good job there with the play, and allows us to get to the 9th inning and see if we get some things going. Setall does a good job, put the ball in play there, and gives a chance. There's Fisher again, man, just doing a good job of dominating that strike zone. So here we are down by 2 runs in the 9th inning and see if we can get a little line magic going.
And it took a while, but you finally got into their bullpen and was able to get something and be able to tie it up right here in the 9th.
Yeah, did a fantastic job there with the hit and run. Move the runners over and score the run, and give us a chance to do some things here. We get a ball and dirt read, tied up 3-3 to push the extra innings. But at the end of the day, Lamar hit the 2-run home run in the 10th inning, and we get beat Friday night 5-3.
Well, this was kind of a strange game. Your team gets behind early, you fight all the way back, force extra innings in the 9th inning, and then kind of have your heart broken there with a big home run in the 10th.
Yeah, you know, we had our opportunities. You know, Friday night I wasn't really pleased the way we played, as well as we played Tuesday and Wednesday for 8 innings of baseball. We didn't play very well on Friday night. You know, we got to tip your hat to their guy. Their Friday night guy was pretty good, threw well. But we swung out a lot of balls and took a lot of strikes, and it's hard to hit sometimes when you do that. We finally got in the bullpen there in the 9th inning, made a little comeback, had some opportunities to knock in the winning run. And they threw obviously the last punch there in the 10th, and obviously to come back from that Saturday was big for us.
Yeah, and due to the weather, the Lions and Cardinals would play a doubleheader on Saturday. Let's go back out and check out the Game 1 highlights. Actually, Game 2, but Game 1 of the doubleheader. Here we are on Saturday, first game of the doubleheader, chance to even up the series with Lamar.
Yeah, you know, we come out, you had a little weather for Sunday, so we ended up deciding to do a doubleheader on Saturday, obviously after losing a tough one on Friday night in extra innings. Really a challenge, Jay, for our guys to come out. And I tell you what, though, anytime you run out TC, you know, you're going to feel pretty good about it.
You know, I feel like we say this every week, and it sounds like a broken record, but man, how good has this guy been?
He's something special, man. He be honest with you. You know, having the doubleheader obviously was going to dig in the bullpen for both teams, and as you'll see later in the game, with Tate Sino being as good as he was and being able to go CG and save the bullpen for the second game, actually allowed us to sweep the doubleheader.
What's crazy is just every time you watch highlights of Tate, it's just how much he just dominates the zone, goes right after hitters, and man, just fastball dominant and just goes right after him.
If there's one thing he's not scared for sure. Hoffman does a good job there, lacing a single back up the middle. We try to go first or third. I like us hunting it. Ends up only staying there at second base, but does a good job there of going right back up the middle. And then Daniel Midget gets his chance, get an opportunity. We get the balk call there as he buckled his front knee. So now he's got second and third with 2 outs. And this is something we pride ourselves all day on Saturday on, getting the 2-out RBIs. And Midget does a good job, 2 strikes, 2 outs, drives the ball the other way. And I tell you what, it was something special to see for him. He's been working so hard offensively in the cages with Coach Zuli, and to get that big 2-out knock there early to give us 2-0 lead was definitely a good plus for us.
And on a night after where you were behind most of the game and had to try to fight back, it was nice to get on top here in game 2.
Yeah, no question. You know, and you can see we put pressure on them. They're set tall, getting down the line, and the first baseman making the error, dropping the ball. And that's what we kept trying to do. We kept just trying to put pressure on Lamar. They think they had a little hangover from obviously the motion from the night before. We just lay down a drag bunt here and obviously throw it away. So 2 back-to-back errors, and all of a sudden we got first and third, nobody out. And, you know, they came out and they scored first off of Tate, and they scored 1 run up top of the first. But for us to come back and put up 4 in the bottom half of the end was a big, big plus for us.
Lions keep it going offensively. They're able to jump on top here against Lamar and allow Tate Sino to go out there and just kind of groove.
Keep doing his thing.
That's right.
I tell you, he gets Santana to pop out. That was the 4-hole, hit the home run on Friday night. This thing still hadn't landed. I tell you, Lamar's a good hitting club, man, and for Tate to do what he did, go CG against him is pretty impressive.
Here's a ball laced into the gap. Will be a double.
For old Sam Roberson, I tell you what, it was nice to see that number 8 back in the lineup. You know, we only had him at first base all weekend, and Fisher had to catch the actual doubleheader, but Sam stayed at first base, gave us obviously a plus there defensively, but even offensively as well. I think he had 5 hits on the whole weekend. It was just nice to see his bat back in the lineup. We had a little miscommunication here. Guy does a good job of doing 2-strike hitting the ball backside. The third, the second guy at second base tried to steal third, and we broke to second for some reason. Kind of gave up a cheap run there, but well, so we do a good job coming right back. Midget does a good job leading off the end there with a single back up the middle. We're trying to bunt him over. I tell you, the lefty had a good move, but he kept trying to get away with murder there. And we have a bad call also at first base. You can see I'm running my 4 flat over to first. They argue the call. I wasn't real happy with it. He actually admitted that he missed the call as well. So and then try to blame it on the assistant. I told him to take the blame for it. We miss it, so don't blame it on the assistant. But Menard does a good job. Instead of letting them get the momentum, does a good job. Hit the line drive back at the middle. And then Senatol gets the ball to right field. We go first to third again. Now we got runners at the corners with 1 out. He gives a chance to add to the lead here. And there's our old HBP. Did a good job this weekend, not moving our feet. You know, had a couple of number of HBPs. Obviously, you see Gillian coming out to argue, and I give Fisher the 3-0 green light. He does a good job of lifting the ball to left field and getting the sac fly to add 1 more run that lead, and we end up taking the lead there 4-2.
We always use the term productive outs, and a nice productive out that time by Fisher.
Yeah, no question, and just put it right back in Tate Sino's hands. And as he strikes out Sam Bumpers there, I think that might have been the only time we got him out all weekend. Get a nice win there to get back in the series.
Tate moves to 4-0 on the year as Lions win at 4-2. Well, big win for your club. Tate Sino was fantastic, complete game. He evened the series. That was a big, big win coming off of Friday night's loss.
Yeah, you know, we Friday night also we had a long talk out there. I think John Lenz actually quoted it at 32 minutes. We had a little discussion to try to figure things out, and I kind of told the kids, I said, look, right now I'm not worried about winning or losing. We've got some other things to identify. We've got to compete harder, and it's plain and simple. We've got to be tougher mentally and just kind of get after somebody a little bit more. So I challenged them on Saturday. I said, look, you're obviously coming off a kind of a high emotional loss on Friday night. You got to be just tougher than another team on Saturday. If you do that part of it, don't worry about the result. Stay with the process, and then it'll happen.
So after 2 games, the Lions and the Cardinals are tied at 1 game apiece. We're going to take a break. We come back, we're going to take a look at the rubber match right here on Inside Southeastern Baseball with head coach Matt Reiser, presented by your local Southern Quality Ford dealers, Champagne Beverage, and also Buddy's Bar and Grill right here in Hammond. Stay with us.